half an hour later, she was woken again by the smell of smoke. And when she opened the door, the flames were already roaring through the house. So she's screaming to wake George up. And when she screamed to wake George up, she also woke Marion up, who's asleep on the sofa downstairs. So Marion came up and scooped baby Sylvia up out of the crib and went out the house with them. Jenny went to phone the police, but the phone didn't work, which we know half an hour beforehand was working completely fine.
Yeah.
George went to try and get up to the attic room, but the stairs were already engulfed in flames and he couldn't get up. He called for his children, and the two older boys that went up to bed with George and Jenny managed to get out with their hair singed, but George couldn't get up to get the other children. So he ran out of the house with them and thought, I'll try a different plan to get up to the attic. He tried to get some water out of their water bucket, which I imagine is like
a water butt.
Water butt, but because of the cold temperature, it was frozen solid. He then thought, ladder by the side of the house, that's always by the side of the house, I'll use that to get up to the window. The ladder wasn't there, which is strange because it was always there, so the ladder was gone. Then he thought, I'll use my trucks to drive up to the side of the house, climb on the trucks, and then reach the window. Both of his trucks that were working perfectly the day before, dead. Completely dead.
All of those things can't just happen.
Be coincidence. So he's panicking, thinking, I need to get into my children.
Yeah.
By this point, the neighbours had kind of gathered round to see what was going on, and one of them managed to contact the local fire department. Now, this is back in 1945. This is before houses had proper fireproofing, so that's one thing to note. But also, the fire department worked a little bit different, and the war had also caused some disruption. So a lot of the people who were in the fire department got enlisted in the army. So they were built up of volunteers at this time because, like I said, even though the war was officially over, some troops were still overseas. So they had a department made up of volunteers, and the way they would get help is one person would call and the fire chief would pick it up, and then he would call on to the next person, who would then call on to the next person, who would then call on to the next person, which sounds like a terrible system.
Yeah, but I guess back then, what other system is there?
Yeah, that's just the system they had. So when I say the next thing, it's just important to remember that fire departments did not work how they do now, because they took 7 hours to reach them. And
see, that seems... I know.
It seems steep.
Yeah, that seems like a long time. What at that point, is there much point in having a fire service? Because the fire's done. The fire has nothing left to burn. It's burnt everything.